Welcome to Wish I'd Known Then podcast. I'm Sarah Rosette.
And I'm Jami Albright. And this week on the show, we are chatting.
Jami and I are going to chat because it has been crazy 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
I've been sick.
Yeah.
Jami's been around sick people. She may get sick.
Yeah. I've been around a lot of sick kids. And if I was just telling Sarah, if I don't get the flu, then the scientists need to study my immune system.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle. It will be a miracle. But yeah, so we're and we're also kind of feeling, I don't know, Sarah, what would you say? Unsure about.
Yes, I feel like we're almost at a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And we don't really know yet what we want to do with the podcast because we started in 2020.
Yeah.
This is 5 years.
5 years. Yeah. Yeah.
So we basically want to know, we appreciate everyone who filled out the survey, and we have that. And we will take all that information into account as we plan, for these next couple of months. But what do y'all want? That's the question we really want to ask y'all. What do y'all want from the podcast?
Sarah and I still love doing it. I mean, we love bringing you guys information, but I guess the question is, do you still want to hear from us? I mean, and this is not like us fishing for compliments. I mean, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're good. It's just, do you still want to know what people wish they'd known about their career? Do you still care what we have to say? If I'm honest, Sarah and I don't love it when we don't have a guest because honestly, we've talked about a lot of things. And so we want guests you want to hear from. If there's a different direction you would like us to go, we can consider that. I mean, the entire podcast is based around two things. One, us being completely real, and two, us bringing you people and sharing what they wish they'd known about their writing
career. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we're open to considering some other things. But also, is listening to podcasts something you even do that much anymore? So I guess we're preaching to the choir on that one, because if you're listening,
yeah, because obviously if you're listening, you're listening. Yeah.
I mean, like our listen numbers are great. I mean, honestly, they're great. But our engagement feels down.
Has fallen off. It feels like it's fallen off a little bit.
And that could be us too. We're not, I mean, we're both busy. We got stuff going on. But I don't know. It just feels a little detached.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's accurate. That's just how it feels. So anyway.
And it is really hard to tell with a podcast because it is very much one-way communication. And we do have the Facebook group and the Slack group. If you want to connect and talk to us through those, please do let us know. Or you could send us a text.
Right.
There'll be a link in the show notes. And just let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Are you listening to less podcasts than you were? Are you not as interested in the topics that we've been talking about? Is there something else you'd want to know about? Just let us know. I think this is kind of a reassessment, I guess, for us. Like, do we keep going in the direction we're going and keep doing what we've been doing, or do we change course just a little bit?
Yeah. Or do we, if the course change is not something we want to do we just say, this has been so amazing and fun, and we'll see you around? I mean,
because we'll definitely be around. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. But I think we need to, I don't know. It just feels like it's time for that conversation.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah. And you and I are both intuitive, and we're both feeling that way. So I think that means that we're both on the same page for this. So, so don't panic. We will definitely be here.
Oh yeah. We've got guests lined up. We're gonna, and we've got great guests lined up, and a variety of guests lined up. But I just feel like we probably need to have the conversation.
Yes, so we're interested to hear what you have to say on all
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
And we did have a couple of questions let me scroll down here and get down to them.
mhm.
From Krista Baker. She
Yeah.
put this in Slack. So, hi, Krista.
Hi,
She,
Krista. Thank you for the questions.
yeah, so she wanted to know about the letters that I'm doing,
Mhm.
how I write them, and do I plot them? And I do plot them, and I
Well,
do
first, real quick, tell everybody for people who don't
right.
know what you're doing, tell them
Okay.
what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story told through letters,
Mhm,
that physical letters that I will mail to people. And I've done this in the past with the two Kickstarters. It was a add-on item, or people could order just the letters if they didn't want to order the book. It's just a mystery told through letters. And what I've done is I send them to the person who does my covers and have them design the letters so they have artwork and they're pretty, and then I get them printed and mail them out. So it's a big process, but when I'm writing the letters themselves, I do plot them out and I do know what the mystery is going to be. Basically, I plot them just like I'd plot a novel, except I know they're going to be much shorter.
mhm,
So she asked about that. And then she said, how do you come up with ideas for Kickstarter for extras? And this is something that I'm not sure where I saw the letters, but I remember seeing them. Someone was doing it not as a Kickstarter. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I could use that in a Kickstarter. But you can do any type of thing for Kickstarter extras. And I would say just go to Kickstarter and browse and look around and
mhm,
see what people are doing. There's just people do printables, people do um, all kinds of like just anything that you could not sell on Amazon
mhm.
because it's an unusual thing is
Yeah,
a good thing to add to Kickstarter.
yeah.
And then she said, I also love the idea of a personalized book, which has been on my ideas list for a while, but never executed. Did anyone go for that? And so I did that with, I think the last Kickstarter, it was one of my highest tiers you could
Mhm,
have. Oh, there's a short story. Well, let's see, that was in the first one. I added a
mhm,
short story to the Murder Archley Manor. And one
mhm,
of the highest tiers was I would personalize the short story. So I think I had two people sign up for that.
mhm.
And I just, when it ended, I just created a special file for each one of them. It went in and changed the name of the sleuth to the name they wanted,
Oh,
and
cool.
then printed one copy for each person and mailed it off. So
Mhm.
it would be a lot more work if you did the whole novel.
Yeah,
You know, you'd
yeah,
have to probably have to have it proofed and everything
yeah.
to make
It would
sure.
be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a question though. Well, first of all, were the letters inspired by Katharina Mara?
No, I think that I just saw some. Oh, it was the Dear Sherlock letters. It's
Oh,
a
that's right.
company
Yeah.
that does letters in the mail, mystery
Mhm.
letters, supposedly Sherlock Holmes
Yeah,
crimes, like new stories about Sherlock.
right.
And I thought that's interesting. Maybe
Mhm.
I could use that. And so there are different companies that do all these different types of letters. Not
Yeah.
all of them are mysteries.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katharina, though, does do letters after,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's part of her automated sequence, and we had her on the podcast. We can put that up
Yes.
together in the show notes because it was
Yeah.
amazing. Um,
And
and it's
hers is a really smart idea because
yeah,
she's using it to really connect with readers
yeah, keep them
and
in that
keep them,
story. Yeah,
yes, and looking for her emails
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's continuation
yeah,
story.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
actually sending out physical letters. How many? I mean, how long are the letters? Like,
They're each one is around like 1,000 words,
oh,
1,000 to 1,500. I learned to keep them shorter rather than longer because of printing cost.
mhm.
Because once you're getting into 2 and 3 pages
Yeah,
of printing,
yeah,
it's higher. So I
hmm,
try and keep them pretty short. And it's a challenge because you have to, if you're doing a traditional letter, like the first one I did, it was from one of my characters to another character, and you
hmm,
have to have the concept for the story,
hmm,
the story in the letters, the mystery in the letters, but then you
Mhm.
also need some reason for your characters to be writing to each other. And so it's
Mhm.
like a double storyline. So
Yeah.
it's a little convoluted the
Yeah.
way I was doing it. So
Yeah.
I've
And
simplified it lately, though.
how many letters do they get in one story?
Well, the first one I did 8 because
Mhm.
8 weeks of letters, I thought that was
Yeah.
plenty.
Like a short
And
story, basically.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
story, a complete short story. And the set I'm working on now, I'm trying to do it a little bit longer.
Mhm.
A lot of these they do. Joanna Penn had, I think it's David Virgut's on, and he
Mhm.
does horror, a series of
Oh,
horror
yeah, yeah,
letters.
yeah,
You
yeah.
remember that?
Mhm. Mhm.
And his is a year long, 24 letters
Oh, that's
mailed every
great.
other month. So I was trying to see if I could expand it out,
Mhm.
but I decided I'm not going to aim for like exactly 24. I'm just going to write the the
Novella. Yeah.
yeah, whatever it is, and if it
Yeah.
comes out to be 12 or 14, that's fine because I don't want to just pad it because I
Right.
just want to
Yeah.
make it longer. So
Yeah.
yeah, so most of mine, I feel like 8 to 12, I'm pretty comfortable with for me
Mhm.
for the length.
Yeah. That's
So I'm
good.
working on that,
Mm.
and once I get this one done, I'll see how long it is, and
Mhm.
then I may not do another Kickstarter with this. I may just
Continue.
send it to my people and
Mhm.
see who signs
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a subscription I mean, like,
Hmm.
they have to pay to get it, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
what do you wish you'd known about these letters? Getting back
Ooh.
to the theme of
Uh,
our podcast. I sprung that on her, y'all.
yeah. Well, I wish I had known not to make them too long in the
Mhm.
beginning because of the
Mhm.
printing cost.
Mhm.
And also just that readers would be so excited about them. They're
That's
so
right.
different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it was just an idea that I thought, I would like to get this in the mail. Maybe
Yeah.
my readers would.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably something I should have leaned into
Mhm.
sooner rather than later because I
Mhm.
did that first Kickstarter a couple of years ago and I
Mhm.
could have been doing letters all along. I just
Yeah.
didn't because I had other things going on. But
Mhm.
yeah, that I had worked on it a little bit more,
Mhm.
a little bit earlier. But it's basically a direct sales thing. So
Mhm.
if I can get this set up for direct sales, then
Yeah.
it'll be a good
Yeah.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love
Yeah. They're lots of fun and they're like a different muscle, writing
Mhm.
muscle. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm very good at writing short stories, but these
Mhm.
are like like a novella kind
Mm.
of thing for me.
Mhm.
Feels like a novella, not just a
Mhm.
short story.
Not just a short story. I don't know if I've ever written a short story. I mean, other than in
You write
college, which
epilogues all the time, though.
well, that's true. I guess that is a short story because it has a beginning, middle, and end. But
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Mm.
Got me
Yeah.
thinking. Got me
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. Then let's see. Krista, had one more questions. And would you have to go through and manually change all the names in the story for
Oh, yeah.
uh, the
Personalized.
personalized? Yes. Uh, yeah. It depends on how detailed your stories are, I guess. But
Mhm.
yeah, it
Mhm.
would definitely take some work to make all the
Mhm.
changes. You could do a find and replace, but then you'd have to double check.
At least have to have somebody proofread it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would heartily recommend
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Well,
So, any other questions?
uh, no, I don't think so. I guess we should ask our supporters, like, what do y'all want? What do y'all want from us? I mean, you don't ask much from us, and that's great. But if you wanted more from us, what would it be? And we would love to know about that. Yeah.
Let us know. And speaking of that, we do have a new supporter this week.
Mhm.
We have Anastasia. She chose the heart
Mhm.
emoji. So thank
Mhm.
you for supporting. We really appreciate it.
Right. Right. And I did notice on the survey, we like of the people who responded, which that was kind of our first maybe people aren't as engaged as we
Hmm.
think they are because the last time we did a survey we had a lot higher number than this time. But it's pretty split evenly between new author or
Hmm.
people who haven't published, new authors and
Hmm. Yeah, it
More
was,
experienced?
yeah, it was pretty even split. It was like 20%
Mhm.
in each just
Yeah,
started, 20% published 1 to 4 books,
yeah,
1 to 5, or 5 to 10, or over
right.
10. And yeah, so we have quite a range of
Mhm.
listeners, I think,
Right,
with some just starting, some well established,
right,
and everywhere in between, I think.
right. So that's cool. I love that. And if you're an,
Mhm.
kind of, I guess I'd want to know what you want in those different categories. Like if you're a brand new author, what do you want from us? What can we give you? What can we
Mhm.
get to you that's going to help this kind of smooth this journey for you? If you're, got 1 to 4 books or whatever, what can we do for you? And more experienced, what can we do for you? I mean, it's just, we started this to help because
Mhm.
podcast helped us. And we
Right.
just want to help you guys. So,
Mhm.
and if we've used up, if our usefulness has gone away, we're not offended.
No.
We've done what we set out to do. So just let us know. Just let us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're thinking. So let's see, I should say thanks to all continuing supporters,
Yeah.
and thanks to everyone who's, supporting the podcast. We just really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you want to support the podcast, you can go to wishidknowforwriters.com/support. And I guess that's all we have this
Yeah.
week. I mean, it's
It is.
super short and
Yeah.
simple.
It's super short and simple, but that's kind
It's
of us, except we're
it's
tall.
it's where we are.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we will be back next week.
Yes. All right. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.